Okay, so thank you for attending today's webinar. So today's webinar topic is actually, so I'm going to show some bunch of demos about healthcare AI agent I developed. So I think best way is okay, so I assume that you can see my slide. Um, so I'm going to show several platforms actually that they are modular types, so they can use in different applications. Actually, that I'm using bunch of the like a modular type AI agent and I integrate for different use cases. So why I'm doing usually I spend nearly 2 years to focus on in how AI and other digital technologies used in healthcare. So I was very curious about uh, the how much actually that AI can be actually implemented in real life healthcare and what the current status, innovation particularly, and also like real life like use cases. And based on my 30 years experience, I have an intensive experience in nearly all aspects of they call high tech, deep tech, and health tech area. And then my first motivation actually that I thinking about to shift my focus area from just before this one, I was actively working on like they call Web3 and metaverse and NFT or the like extended reality type. You may have heard about it. Mark Zuckerberg talk about it. And after that, actually the consumer market gone. And then I was looking for the topic that I want to focus on. And then by any chance that I met with some startup founder in a meeting and we discussed about what you're doing. And then she, actually the founder was a she woman, and told me that she developed software medicine to cure Alzheimer's disease. So, oh really? So software can be used as a drug, and I didn't know about the field. And so I started to like look at the in the deeper level what is mean they call digital therapeutics. So look at it what is mean by the digital therapeutics. And people maybe I mean emerging technology. So I know about the in the general type of the like AI using for example deep learning to diagnose, and then so I also developed my own deep learning for like through your image to diagnose some disease or something. I know about the general field, but I was not even seriously involved. And then I look at the digital therapeutics in the default level. And as I'm also an attorney and a patent attorney, so I'm most of my over 20 years, I'm heavily involved in IP development. So usually my approach is to the emerging technology, look at the what the current state of the innovation based on the what the patent that surrounding that emerging technology. So I started to looking at the what is the patent right to digital therapeutics, and then I just search intensively based on my expertise, and then I just accumulate about 200 start like a patent related to DTX, and then I just analyze everything, and then I made for example recently I just provide a recent report about what the current global like landscape, the startup landscape of the like a DTX, and also like I look at the other field like remote patient monitoring for the preventive health and diagnostic like AI powered diagnostics or radiology stuff. And also like I look at the telemedicine and the clinical trials and the drug discovery, everything that applied by AI. And then I look at the whole the map and what the current state of the innovation. And then I already know about the AI agent, and recently I focused on how AI agent is I think this year was time a lot of big company is starting to deploy their AI agent building platform like Google and Microsoft and Meta, Oracle that I know about before in the high tech area. So I started to look at what kind of like AI agent can be applied to the healthcare area. And then I came up with the idea that, and the fortunate to have organized this kind of event many, many times. So I have a lot of the connection in healthcare area. And then through the discussion about their current pain point, what kind of like challenges they want to solve. So it just influencing me that I have plenty of the idea that based on my tech background to actually can contribute to the kind of like a AI agent can be applied many different type of the healthcare area. So today I'm going to show is about the 12 that I developed, and then I just have an idea, and then actually like a proof of concept using ChatGPT, and then I just simulate what it actually can implement and what it be the use case looks like. So my motivation doing this is that I'm a pattern attorney, so I just filed a patent my idea. So all of the today's demo is based on I filed about the six patents surrounding this one, and then I developed this one, and then I decided to like maybe first is that I needed some collaboration with a more deeper level understanding of the healthcare and then other like implementation. So that actually can enable right make clear my idea to be actually can implement. So I just try to communicate with many other people and attend even the other event and then give a speak. And even last week I attended like a Harvard like a health system innovation labs hackathon, and then I have a good time to with the younger generation of the doctors and other innovators to and then so this will be the good time to show that my idea, and then I do not have a consensus with other people may be interested in to actually can deploy this one. So first one actually it showed the demo a little bit. This is the one actually that I can show everything, but I don't have the time to show all. Oh, this one will be the starting point. Actually, that I mentioned about DTX. So this platform. How I got it? Actually, I analyzed the 200 patents and then look at the global startup in all different fields of the digital therapeutics, from the like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, they call cognitive like impairment, and from the mental health, depression, anxiety, stress, and also like behavior things like substance use disorders and sleep disorders. And also look at the like neurological disorders they call like rehabilitation, and also look at the other area like pain management and then chronic disease management like diabetes, hypertension, and also other many type of the different type of health condition. And I found that over I just count about the 300 global leaders in this area, and then they will also collaborate with a large big company, especially the pharmaceutical company, and develop their own way and look at the whole the innovation space. And then I systematically look at that. I found the common framework that all this one targeting different health condition, but the common framework they have. So I've come up with the idea that okay, so the complete DTX for the very, very highly specialized, personalized like this therapeutic can be developed. So I just make this kind of like for example, here is seven framework. So I developed this one, and then I look at all the different, for example, patents and the innovation, like clinical trials and then FDA clearance materials. And then I just made that very clearly understanding framework, and then I try to make as a AI agent. So AI agent have a cognition, they have perception, and then they can understand, and then they can have a memory, and then they can self-learning, and then every good feature. So each individual AI agent can perform specific purpose. So for example, so what I found that the common feature that, for example, that a lot of people would like me that very curious about what is the mechanism of this kind of like these therapeutics. And then I found that okay, so they are founded by the traditional non-pharmacological therapy. Okay, so starting point, you need to understand if you have some health condition, for example, Alzheimer's disease or the mental health disease, you need to look at the starting point. What is the standard of care accepted among the health community to provide the intervention or the therapeutics, right? So, okay, then, so AI agent can understand because one of the powerful like a killer application of AI agent is search over the internet and then get the like information and search information and analyze. You know you may be already use for example one example is like the open AI is like a team research. It's kind of like you provide the task and then they can like search over and then based on your like a guideline they do some research. It's the same thing. So they this AI agent try to start to look at what the current state of the standard of care for a certain health condition, right? So it look at the literature, it look at the website, companies, product, everything. But actually, the initial starting point, I provide everything based on my analysis, and then. And then what this is doing is that they want to deliver this traditional standard of care type therapeutic in the digital means. So you need to know about what the digital therapeutics can deliver this kind of like so AI agent will understand, for example, AI agent Loris, they understand like a traditional like therapy. And they know about input condition like what target health condition or the like population, the personal information, everything target outcome, and then they try to do like produce like how actually can deliver in a digital way. For example, a good example is you have like a mental health, like a cognitive, like a CBT type, then cognitive behavior therapy is well long. And then there is a way you can deliver is a digital way, they call like online or whatever, right? So it tried to map out from this traditional therapy to the digital way. And then once have a digital meaning, and then it tried to find out how to develop the like you know what the delivery means, and you need to understand what the content. For example, that a lot of the technique used in this area is to using, for example, some kind of like a content, visual content, voice content, or sometimes they use like a virtual reality content. Right, so there are different type of content they require, and then I just accumulate based on my research all the content for the given condition, and then AI agent learn, understand, and then it can start to understand other way to develop content. For example, that in the like for example PTS is type that there is like a exposure therapy, and then they developing the like a content like you are the person actually the surrounded by a lot of people and then give a speech like some kind of like a visualized content, even like a virtualized content. And then you know that the AI agent can even create image or the video, right? So they can develop like a content. And then what's happening is that once you have this kind of form, it should be engaged with the person, engagement, right? Because there are many type of engagement. For example, that they develop this as your the working in the like a smartphone as a game or the visual content, whatever. So engagement, and then they can there are many ways to like personalize through the engagement. And then once you have an interaction with this DTX, and then there's a bunch of the data generated, and then a lot of the things that they are interesting is they call real life evidence, right? Real life data. So how you utilize your data. And so I found that there are many kind of different scheme that you can use in the data utilization. And finally, that AI can integrate. So if this is the one actually that you feel. I also develop like how you actually you clear approved by the FDA clearance, and then usually the DTX product is a software. They could classify as a software the medical device. So it's a medical device by the software. And then if you include AI function to be the main function of this, the operation and mechanism of delivering therapeutics through the AI, they call AI or ML-enabled software-defined medicine. So you think about this one as is a natural way to like a hierarchy and then including more function, but actually it produces like a complete set of the DTX. So actually that this is one I discussed with for example my family members are all working in healthcare, and then my daughter is working in Novartis as in the drug development side, and then I said, oh, and initially I think about this DTX is very complex. And then a lot of people just boast that they developed this one, they developed this one, but I found that uh, the very interesting thing is that this is very complex process and required the high level of the sophistication and the long time of the pathway. And then I found that recently there were a lot of failed cases. For example, peer therapeutics and other, I'm not mentioning, but several, I found that why. And then I found that there are several ways actually I can contribute is I could shorten how to shorten the pathway and then easy to make like FDA clearance and clinical trial, everything. And then I just say like, and then even the most thing is adoption in the mainstream healthcare. So I come up with the idea that if you have, I have this kind of thing, and then you want to know about your health condition and the target people and what outcome, you will generate very soon about the blueprint about the details for you. How about it? And then a lot of people are, oh, interesting. Actually, I developed this one, so I will show you my demo. So this is one. So this is I just for focus on mental health, but it can apply anything. I already tested on Alzheimer other thing. I will show you maybe recently there was the one of the pioneer in T-Tex they call click therapeutics, and they announced that they developed for the first time FDA like cleared the DTX for the like a headache, like a migraine. And then I did the same thing, and then including their information, and then developing others, and I just I develop how to actually make a blueprint. Even they develop for a long time, but I can generate in a short time, so I can show you my firm. So input information that requires a target acquisition, patient demographic, expected outcomes, and therapy interaction preference, and then the input. For example, use. So it'll just help me to just example, right? So it understand the input. So actually, but you can provide your own. And then next will be that based on this input, try to find out what's the best standard of care for this input, right? So yes, and then it try to understand what your current input, and then it recommends traditional therapy for PTSD, and then it provide all the state of standard of care things, right? So you may like it show that, and then as I told you, it try to find out what the digital way to deliver this therapy. So you understand, right? Because they try to map this traditional solution to digital delivery, right? And then next step, that what kind of content you want to deliver. So it could like a stimulus, emotional stimulus, or the chatbot type mood sequencing, and Excel based like a mindfulness immersion type. And then it'll be engaged with you, person. So it give you all type of the like how to engage with a person and even like a feedback driven dynamic adjustments. So it interacts with the patient and then apply their therapeutics and then know about what the trial and then try to adjust the intervention. And then once interact and readjust, and then they will just settle down with apply your TTX to the particular this kind of PTSD, and then there are a bunch of the data generated. And then how to actually implement AI to make a more advanced level. So if you include this kind of function in your TTX, I just told that it categorize as AI ML software with medical device. So you need to be like FDA clearance based on that type. So this is it. So final summary, yes. And then they give you the, German, this is a blueprint, right? It give you all, so actually this is actual TTX, highly personalized for the health condition and your input. So this is a one aspect, but it can generate bunch of different input and different type of therapeutic and the digital means, right? Because the digital DTX solution based on. So once you actually can make this as a code and then implement and then put it in the cloud and then make it as app, this is a DTX, right? Easy, right? I think that the DTX is not, you can understand within your knowledge because everything is very clear, right? And everything step will be very based on the fundamental things you can understand, right? So this is one I envision that, for example, in the future, that actually this Tuesday I talk about like the internet has a AI agent, and I have a bunch of the other agents. They can collaborate each other. For example, another AI agent that I developed is monitoring your health condition every day and then understand your current health situation and then find out what's the best way to like help you to give you the best health condition and well-being. This is one other the app that I developed, right? So you're surrounding you that actually can understand your health, and then even with this, and then they can provide you have some in case that you have some problem, right? Health condition, even they provide this kind of health solution only for you, highly special. So this is not personal; it's a personal health, right? It's completely new concept. Like before, people talk about patient-centric and personal. So this is not just people-centric. It's kind of like just personal healthcare, right? Will it happen? Yes, I believe. For example, that I also like develop other tools, like for example, how you do this as a clinical trials, how you do this as a FDA clearance automatically, and then how you make this as a, for example, there are a lot of the AI tools available now that can make like auto coding, right? Auto implementation, order putting in the cloud, auto making app already have a patch, but there exists a lot. Even yesterday, I have been to MIT. MIT has developing they call like multi-party like communication between the AI agents. So there are a lot of the brilliant guys try to working like they try to connect like billion like AI agent, and then, so every tool exists, right? So in the future scenario is what I'm visioning is that is a personal healthcare AI agent is an ecosystem that actually can collaborate with you in residing you, and then even like nobody has condition, give you the best has condition, provide the everyday like recommendation and service, like concierge service, and then and then even they find that something, then they can provide the like a treatment based on this app right away. It's some extreme, but it's like a scientific fiction. But I envision this one, right? Because it's possible, right? So, for example, that this is the one thing that, for example, this is one thing, right? So, I just found that a lot of people are very, very hard time to figure out whether their product really needs some like a government like compliance, or what type of compliance they need and how to do. And then I've talked with a lot of the people that developing this kind of device that even don't know about whether it's and then even there was a lot of debate. I've seen that, for example, mental health. There was a two like the group that they actually can say that like, oh, you didn't do any kind of like the evidence base. The TTX side said, okay, so we did like clinical trials and FDA clearance. You are the webbing product is a no guarantee at all. And then here is oh, we don't want to like that kind of complex progress. It was a market we decide, and then we'll apply it as a mental health, and then app, and the people will choose ours through the like Apple App Store or the Android App Store, and then they use it, and then they will prove usefully, right? So there are a lot of the people who have a different business strategy, and the fundamental thing is that I've talked with several people that they don't know about whether their product is FDA clearance or not. So, and then I found that there are a bunch of the legal document is available in FDA side, and then I think, well, why people not using AI to understand what the current set of the like regulation, and then try to interpret them as a very plain language, and then have people to clear out whether their product is under FDA clearance, and then whether how they do. So I just put in this framework in my AI agent. So same function. AI agent understand language, and then they can communicate with you and then give you the plain language and then the translation. So this is one example that I tried. Like, so for example, that determine whether it's a medical device and what kind of like career ways you want to do. So for example, is your product software, right? Because it's like traditional medical device hardware system, or is it like a software as a medical device? So put it one, simple one. You know about whether your product is software or not, right? And then and then determine agent that input required. This is FDA. If you like visit the FDA site, and then two starting is they provide they expecting some input, so what is intended use and indication of use, right? And then even my agent to help you to what is your descript, you provide a descript like explanation, and it'll give you like a legal term, what is your device intended to use and indicator use, right? So it give you the example. So for example, use yeah. So it based on like FDA like a document, right? Because what is mean by the SAMD and what is medical product, and then it give you like for example that like it is your device is under SAMD, and then it can try to start to regulate classification determination AAs and to continue step to like is classification is class 1, 2, 3. So yes. So it have you to what kind of like a regulatory pathway you need to do, right? So what kind of requirement? So it said yes, and then they give you the guide. But actually, I stopped to put more. But actually, the my pattern actually the implementing even it find out your product type, and then it find out the party to apply, and then it have you to make a document application document and monitor automatically that what the current state of the like a pathway, everything will be automated, right? A lot of save money, right? So if you have an ML device, you know that there is a like a FDA framework for AI ML device, especially for recently Gen A type of the medical device that they now establish their framework. So I just so one of the beauty of the AI agent is they automatically search and then update what the like current state of the like legal status, right? And then they understand, and then they try to the most current up to date legal compliance to what you need, right? This is the one beauty that AI agent understands situation, self-learning, and that autonomous way that actually they can do that, right? So it give you like what the current status, put the CCCP plan you need, and then GMFP plan for the AI because of the AI can change your intended use and indication use over the path of your product life cycle. So I'm not going to more, but this is one thing that I think about. For example, here is a migraine that, for example, that uh, actually I attended the Click Therapeutics webinar yesterday, and then they talk about that recently that for example that they CT 132 they just to look at the so I just put into their information to my framework. I have already have a framework. So based on that, and then I have a, like ask about the search of other traditional method, including theirs, right? So okay, so probably not in here. Okay, so oh, okay, so probably okay, so it actually I yesterday I tested that not only that what the chrysotropetics did, their traditional method they're using CBT and the neurological method like and then I include the other things to put in there, and then I make a more personalized way. Okay, so Another thing that I want to show you is so recently there was a they call like a PDURS. This is just a quick therapeutic they call like software enhanced drug. Actually, it's a traditional drug with a software actually how to manage your drug like a treatment across DTX. So I developed this one at the same thing. So I found it's the same framework. So hmm. Oh. Probably the reason is that because I use my ChatGPT for consecutive way actually they take changing their base model to the mini. That's why. Anyway, because it's good time to to interact discussion with you because I show you the uh, very essential part of my uh presentation here, right? But anyway, because I have already recorded the demo and then I put in the YouTube side so you can see that I have, for example, I have another thing is like they monitor you and then they provide your checking your mental health state and then even they checking you like a physical health station and then they started to provide like a good recommendation webbing program and even like have you to many different ways concierge service and many other right so I recommend to look at the demo, right? But anyway, because I just showed the essential part of the what my AI agent are doing, right? And then what I want to is that I really want to collaborate with you that have this kind of this level of the proof of concept level the AI agent and also like have a more idea to implement it and then if you very serious about actual implementation you are interested in your implementing in your organization or you want to based on this one to starting your own startup or whatever right because I'm really open mind to collaborate even based on mine, or maybe I can have you to, based on my understanding, that I can collaborate with you, whatever, to sit into your problem that I can have you to solve your problem. You're using your AI agent. So that's the one actually that I intended to organize this webinar to, and then I wanna discuss with you further, and then maybe first this webinar, I welcome anyone contact me, and then you have a good idea to how to make this one happen, or if you wanna collaborate with me, I just welcome. Okay, Roger?
Yeah, Alex, thank you so much. This is super interesting. Would you be able to kind of share in terms of the approach that you took to get to the solution? Maybe the steps that you took or the framework that you refer to?
Oh, actually, it's based on nearly 2 years my research in the top of my 30 years experience. So it cannot apply to anyone, right? Because it just assumes that you have a deep level, at least a deep level understanding of the technology and at least 2 years experience with what is healthcare is going on, right? Based on that, and I have a very standard, now I have a very standard way to develop anything. I'm very, very, very good at now to look at the challenge, right? And then I come up with the idea that first thing is that the you should understand what the AI agent can do, right? So actually the you maybe look at my book. My recently I shared my book that there are seven type of the healthcare agent. They provide some function and their features and what kind of like healthcare problem they can attack, right? So and then they are fundamental building blocks. So you should understand, right? And then look at your problem, and then you think about that. the not all problem can solve by AI agent, right? There are, for example, that there are strong features that I mentioned that the AI agent is based on large language model mostly. So large language model is like what is the most popular tool of the large language model? They understand language, right? Natural language processing, right? So all kind of like communication is AI can handle, right? And then AI is very good at automation, right? It's a workflow type step, right? And then they are very well organized. That's why that it once you develop framework, right? Because all the thing that I solve is I develop personally the framework, and then how to actually they implement. So actually, I just think about what kind of like the use case actually can apply my framework AI function to today, right? So usually that kind of step required then, and then I'm not sure whether I'm still, because the thing that I'm still have no like a good like understanding or experience that I never actually implement in actual situation. I tried many, many times, right? 'Cause that's one, it's unfortunately, I tried my best. For example, I contact Google Cloud, and then you know that they talk about like they launched their Google AI agent, like their AI agent platform. So I contact them. And then there was a salesperson contact me, and I showed them my intention, right? Because I want to build up something, and then before actually implementing, because I have a lot of the contact from the healthcare provider. For example, one doctor, he is a surgeon, and then he want to apply AI agent for the like a pre-surgery, during the surgery, post-surgery process automation. So I just provide a solution, but I don't know whether I actually can implement. And then, as you know, it's like a highly private, secure measure required. So we need some kind of that kind of measure. So I think the Google Cloud Platform or the Microsoft Azure or the Amazon AWS, they already provide. So it's a good starting point is rather than in the private cloud, right? To like implement in the existing cloud system with the goods. So I just say my intention. And then the salesperson hear me and then and told me, oh, okay. So and then he connect me to some company actually that they help me. Actually, it found that they are the vendor, and what they're doing is actually they sales of the Google Cloud. And then initially we talked very well because it looks like they hear me, right? Because my intention, I have a lot of the connection from the healthcare professional interest in implementing AI agent. My role is that I understand how the use case develop and how to apply, but I don't have any kind of like implementation infrastructure behind me, so I cannot provide anything practical tip to whether it can be implemented this way. So I just make a proposal to them. Okay, so I have a very several type of the good use case I developed. So can we pre-develop some good use case over the Google Cloud, right? And then show them to the potential they will be your client, right? And not me, their client, right? And once they decided to implement actually, they can use the Google Cloud. They don't understand. There's all salesperson. They say, no, 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 we don't like pre like invest anything. You bring the client, we'll do. I tried many different time of this kind of trial. They all said like this. They tried to approach as a salesperson to me, but I'm recently I have some friend to share my vision. So I'm very exciting to me that sometime I contact a lot of people. I know about a lot of people. I have a 30 years. I contact Microsoft and Google, Apple, anywhere. So they may know about it, even they reply me. And I need just one, have a vision like me. It'll contribute a lot, right? For example, the DTX, right? They think about a lot of people
Yeah.
just boast, oh, we're doing that complex thing. Easy, right? And then everybody understand, right? Even I suggest like for the PDURS type, I just provide, well, you don't need to very complex about DTX product or the PDURS product. My idea is that you have a drug, you have a QR code, scan it. It redirect you in some website. It give you user information how to use the drug the best way. Is a PDURS, right? Because I have been through the 30 years in different type of innovation. I know about how to way to different way, right? And then the people actually inside cannot see. And then I try to make simple. And then I try to make really patient-centric, personalized, right? Different approach, right? And then I'm not looking for just one person, just buy my vision and they share with me. And then, for example, I let me explore their platform to actually implement. Let me explore to implement in their institution, something like that, right? So that's the one actually that my motivation to this one. So maybe you or other people share with my vision. Then in the future, right? Is really have like a personal healthcare system, right?
I see. Yeah. Very, very super interesting. I think there's a lot of value here. I mean, what you shared is incredible. Also, like I was just looking for your book. If you could provide the link to your book, that would be good.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I no. So you can come to my LinkedIn profile, and that there was a feature. The first one is my book, so you can just click it and download it. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Very looking forward to it, Alex.
Anyone to share your vision or idea? I really see that I really just want person to have a have a vision with me and then support my endeavor, right?
Well, I
Hey
can
Alex,
go
Yeah.
ahead.
we talked long time back. Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
First of all, I just appreciate the initiative you're taking and the step you're taking in making the things work. Um, so this is a great first step, but actually we also need to recognize, and some of the things you already recognize, like when you are doing something in healthcare, because of lots of issues, including privacy, data security, and what potential impact it can make patient, especially the legality issue. I mean, you are a patent law aspect, you understand very well. Suppose you create a system and somebody used it, and probably 90 people, 99 people has positive impact, but one person has a negative, or even that person thought it's a negative, then you come with a big liability. And just like you, I was attending also the MIT this conference on Tuesday, and one person mentioned, look at left, looked at right in the audience, every one of you or one fifth or one sixth people will be sued because of use of AI. So that's going to happen even irrespective of healthcare. But when you put it together, there are some risks which we need to understand and take preventive measures. So I just wanted to make that point. I think bringing a solution is not easy, but it will be still easier. But making it implementation part will be much more challenging. That's like my take. But should I not take any step because there will be challenges? I don't also adhere to that. So I really applauded your initiative, but also we need to be aware, like, if we make things work, we need some enterprise level implementation, which is key.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. And then, yeah, I know that because you know that I'm a lawyer. So what I'm doing in innovation is one side, and then and lawyering is the other side because there's a risk adverse and risk taking, right? But in the healthcare is a serious area actually. There are a lot of relate to like human like life, and then a lot of the valuable informations I already know about it. Yeah, and then funny thing was actually that last week I attended as I mentioned that the Harvard the Health System Innovation Labs hackathon, and then actually
Mhm.
my team won the first place. And then what we tried to tackle was a very, as a lawyer, was very interesting was that because we tackled the problem about in pediatric situation that, and for example, the pediatric in the intensive care situation that there was a miscommunication between the child, parent, and doctor, right? And then it is end up being like a is I also like to look at the statistics like in the United States, 30% of the legal disputes is coming from the miscommunication, right? And then
Mhm.
we suggest like solve by the one of the powerful, the most killer application of this kind of AI agent is having communication. So we develop a prototype and then have them to like post meeting, during the meeting, and then pre-meeting, how AI can help you to understand, have a also like have a recording, and then bound by the legal that we can develop like that. And then that, but as you mentioned that the another issue that what happened that AI have a mistake during this kind of thing. That'll be another, right? Because I maybe you will attend my previous webinar about who is liable when AI made a mistake, right? And then we know about all the measure, but that the thing is that innovation is always take a risk, right? And then it depending on the industry, some industry is a different characteristic. So I know about the different. I have been in different industries, so how to innovate. But in healthcare, I also know about for 2 years that to take a measure the different type of the risk you should think about it. But anyway, that's the part of the revolution, right? And then it'll be for example, that if you take a measure more seriously in the healthcare, there'll be innovation. The like a pace will be slowed down, but in the globally, then even in the like all over the ecosystem, in any way, because it'll be advanced, right? And then what I want to do is I just have a take this part, and then I want to be pioneering to like at least to try, right? Unless you try, you don't know, right? So I really want to try, right?
No, Alex, just also probably something on the line of Reza was asking, like, I would like to but understand what's the process, and I will tell you why I'm asking you, because I have some own experiences and I want to share that. So suppose you are creating this system. Your system is based on ChatGPT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
No, 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 no. That's the one actually the very simple way to show the demo, right?
Right.
It can be implemented any kind of like a large language model, and then I know that there is at least a dozen available, like even for the dedicated for the like healthcare. For example, one of the good vendor is a Snowflake kind of like. So it doesn't matter, right? Implement in the implement details, you can pick and choose whatever the best one for your proposal, right? And the different large language model have a different characteristic, right? And then so for example, the one of the measure like a second measure of the they call lag, like look at the outside like reference and then compare with it, and then try to reduce like hallucination biases and like that, and then the different characteristics. So, but because I'm choosing large language model is simple because I can it's available for me. But anyway, because actual information you can pick and choose the best option for you, right?
Right.
That's
So,
exactly I
so
wanted to mention.
mhm,
Sorry, I
mhm,
just wanted to follow up. Like, I literally tried different large language model,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking for some patent. So if you ask, it depends. It's not even a particular language model.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask a question, try to make you to happy. It will give you answer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I search for the patent, that patent does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose that happened in a case, and actually I was literally, this is a case, real case. I was trying to find a innovation solution, like see what happened in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And suppose I provide that report to the actual report, like with the patent number, and which does not exist. So that's the hallucination problem with the RAG. You can overcome some part of it, but not completely. And that incoherent, and that is not actually surprising because generative AI, by definition, is generative. It is trying to predict. So that's why it's actually we have to really focus the not the use case only, but the implementation. I will say like the implementation will be the 99%.
Yeah. I think that also like like there are a bunch of the different spectrum of technologies, so you can take a measure as far as you can go, but actually it is like trade-off, right? For example, that you mentioned about, I'm not sure whether you attended my previous webinar. I talk about casual AI agent-based precision medicine, right? They are casual, they know about, they are not prediction. It's a traditional machine learning, deep learning is a statistical. But this is
Mm.
not. They are based on the cause and effect. But it conflicts. So you can take a measure, but anyway, there is a price, right? So I think the best way, I agree with you that actually implement and test it and learn and how to work and what's the best, what's the limitation, right? Otherwise, you cannot know what will happen, right? That's why
So on a
I'm
Right.
positive note,
excited to I have this kind of idea I want to share with you, but my ultimate goal is to work with you, actually implement and then see what happen, and then give you the best model can be applied in the state of art of the current state of the technology. Hmm?
Yes.
so on a
Uh,
positive note, Alex, just to confirm, like I am skeptical enthusiast. I just want to mention, like I am skeptic, but at the same time I'm enthusiastic because Novo Nordisk actually utilized generative AI and they're actually using it in a big way to do their medical documentation, which shows that it's already getting accepted even in the clinical field, right?
Hmm.
But they must have implemented lots of different technological aspects to make sure it's not hallucinating and really taking the real data.
Hmm.
So I am also enthusiastic that it is happening and it will be
Hmm.
happening more and more.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah. Leja, do you have anything to share?
yes, I just have a question for you, and I don't want to hog the conversation here. So if anyone else wants to go ahead, please do. But in terms of the FDA demo that you demonstrated, that was very intriguing, especially on the regulatory compliance side, and um, wondering if you have actually tested the agent in the field or with different scenarios or stress tested given the kind of other cases that are approved or disapproved.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Have
but
you?
because I'm just trying. I just have a because I have a lot of the cases like before, not just the FDA clearance. I have a lot of the regulatory scheme is involved, for example, in the telecommunication, right? There are a lot of regulation stuff. So I was one time I was a regulator. I was a government officer regulating like a wireless device or something like that. So I know about what kind of like pitfalls with the regulation and had the relationship with the innovation or something like that. But anyway, but the point is that because initially every innovation starting from like for example in the side function, right? Because for example that I'm not expecting that my FDA the like regulation supporting like AI agent can be adopted as a mainstream in a day, right? Initially,
Right.
for example, at least you're innovator. I can make this available very low cost, even I can let use people as a good purpose, right? And then maybe some like organization support me for my work, and then and just let other people use it. And then like 'cause, just you're innovator. I'm just curious about what will happen my in the future product or current developed product. Just test it. This it'll be help you to more educated and then you will prepare, right? Rather than you don't know anything and then somebody said, oh, you need an advisor. I'm a lawyer, so I know, but it's a lawyer's paradise is a complex environment, right? People not understand very well, and then you charge a lot of money, right? For example, in the
Exactly.
litigation I involved, like I charge $500 an hour because of litigation, nobody knows how to do, right? But if I want, I can make a regulation supporting AI agent because I know about the framework, right? Not doing it is because if I make it like I will be by my like peer, like a fellow like a lawyers. But anyway, but this will be the supporting tool, right? Because somebody like a lot of this AI tool is supporting the current ecosystem, doctors, patient, right? And that is a reference or educational thing, right? And a lot of things they contributed. What my function you're seeing is that they search and research and provide good knowledge. It's kind of like they call health literacy, right? It's a healthcare literacy is a big problem, and the people understand more. There will be not the rest like chance of the miscommunication, something like that. So it supports a lot in the ecosystem. Even the seriously, they automatically doing everything, right? My like future vision, like they will provide everything to you, but there's a SF type. But this is just like extreme. But what I'm thinking about is that they will support your ecosystem, and then at least it'll be it's kind of like oil to learn through healthcare ecosystem very well, right? So I'm really interested in that my innovation is we contribute that way. For example, the DTX thing I think about is I just make it often like if somebody the help me that I can implement as a separate API that any people can access that they test or whatever. And then you are for example, medical school student, right? And then he studied something. Oh, I studied today is Alzheimer's disease, and Alzheimer's disease is based on like something accumulate in the like unnecessary like a protein in your head, and then everybody know about. And then I have mechanism. I'm interested in whether it's sideways like a traditional drug and the doctor treatment, whether it's supporting this Alzheimer's disease. You just put in the input in my platform, and they give you a bunch of the blueprint that they can understand. Oh, okay, so I'd like to study more. It's a way. It's a way to support current health ecosystem, right? That's how I intended.
Yeah. Yes. So another tool in your toolbox, basically, kind of a very smart tool to help you kind of get job done faster, better.
Yeah, and even that actually the
Yes.
is a lot of startups are interested in get the fund. For example, that I've been to like MIT, there was a lot of pitchy about get the like seed funding, whatever. And one of my tours is actually the find out the best like investor to you, and then how to make a pitch and communicate each other, right? All framework you have a framework AI can have, right? So you imagine that what kind of like a supporting to current health ecosystem, right? And then you develop framework, and then you know about the function of the AI, you can implement, right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Well,
Yeah, I think that
thank you.
it's time to we finish. But anyway, so thanks for attending to this webinar. So if you not share with your the like comment or whatever you have have in mind, just like contact me, and then I need one, just one share with me, and then collaborate with me, right? But I think that I don't want to like I just ask like are you interested in the collaboration? And they said like, okay, I'm interested in collaboration, and ask me how. No, I already asked you how, right? Because I need to supporting how to implement, how to develop use case, right? But if you ask me the how, I don't know. So
Yes.
please contact me that I want to collaborate with you. For example, I can support to actually implement. I can support to actually can develop use case in some hospital. Something specific collaboration I need. Okay. Okay. Thank you for
100%.
attending today's webinar. And I hope to see you in my future event. And then I hope to see you have share your vision with me. Okay. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.